Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Esteemed FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. I am Falakzeeb Khan, anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry titans to share their experiences, thoughts, ideas, and best practices in order to inspire one another and future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings acquired by these industry leaders. We also hope that by conducting these FaceTime with Leaders interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. By bringing together such visionaries on one platform, we hope to play a part in inspiring the lives of other leaders. Great learnings from great leaders undoubtedly assist everyone by identifying, nurturing, and using the trade secrets that are proven success formulas for many. And this is what we aim for with these sessions by making them a gathering of industry stalwarts and a knowledge-sharing community. We have one such industry stalwart on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Mr. Girish Trivedi. Hello, Mr. Trivedi. We are glad to have you here with us on FaceTime with Leaders.
Hello, Falak. It's my pleasure.
Thank you.
Great to be here. Thank you so much.
Mr. Trivedi is an accomplished professional with extensive experience in the telecom, media and technology industry and has a proven track record of formulating and executing business strategies across multiple geographical markets, specializing in the MENASA region, that is, Middle East, North Africa, South Asia, including India. He is a recognized thought leader and has played a key role in shaping the strategic direction of various companies at both the client and practice levels. He is also recognized among top 100 coaching leaders in India 2023. Currently, he is an entrepreneur, co-founder and director at Monk Consulting and is serving his clients as a consultant and transition coach. It's great to have you here with us today. So I would like to ask you, Mr. Trivedi, could you please let our viewers know your important career milestones on your journey of founding Monk Consulting?
Well, thank you, Falak, for that kind introduction. If I have to sum up my journey for a period of 23, 24 years, I would say I have been, able to successfully transition from being a consultant and an analyst to an entrepreneur over a period of last 12 to 15 years. I started off my career as a consultant, having worked with various leading businesses in the world, especially in the area of technology, telecom, and media. And I have transitioned myself into an entrepreneur, having founded my own consulting organization, Monk Consulting, about 12 years back. And since then, what I have done over a period of time is to help my clients become more aware of their industry requirements, about what their customers need and how they can expand their own businesses, grow into the next level of businesses and earn better revenue, better margins, better profitability for themselves and for their stakeholders over a period of time.
That's really great and interesting indeed. So I would like to ask you, could you please boil down all your professional life's learnings to 3 points or principles for our viewers?
Well, as you briefly mentioned in the introduction, I am also a consultant and I am a coach. Now, these are, spectrum-wise, two ends of the spectrum, where consultant provides a very clear solutions to an existing problem which a client brings to the table. And on the other hand, being a coach, I have to explore with my clients to find the solutions within themselves. So these are two very clear spectrum which I'm currently working on. But if you ask me, what are the 3 major learnings I've had, as a professional, the first learning which my master coach has always taught me is to focus on whatever you focus on expands. So you focus on what is the positivity and the solutions you are looking at a problem which you have in hand, then that will expand. If you will focus on growing your organization, that will expand. If you will focus on working with people, that will expand. So whatever you focus on, expand has been my mantra for a very long period of time now. and that is one positive learning which I've had, that you cannot change even what has happened a second before, but what you can take is learning from there, focus on what is at hand today. How do you work on taking steps to mitigate or develop what you are trying to develop, and look at how it will impact your future moving forward. And that is one of the biggest learnings I've had as a professional. Couple of things which I believe as a professional is, we have to start thinking strategically as a professional who is responsible to manage businesses, people, geographies, and beyond that, we have to start thinking strategically. Learning to think is one of the most difficult skills. I've I have I've come to believe that is something which is lacking in most of the professionals, because that's the most difficult thing to do. You somebody tells you to do something, you can go ahead and execute, but how do you actually develop that skill set to think beyond what somebody is telling you, to think and be in that present and see how it can impact future? What are the learnings you can take away from past experiences and past learnings of not only yours, but somebody from around the industry, is one thing which I believe is very, very important. uh, Third thing is, irrespective of what we are doing and what we need to understand, we are in the human business. I don't think I think with the advent of newer and faster technologies every day, with AI, and different kind of technologies coming in our way, we are finding that our ability to do is becoming easier. Our ability to have a lot of tools around us is vast now. However, what we have to learn is that we will end up working with humans. While technology will assist us, technology will be there to improve our day-to-day activities. But end of the day, we will be working with humans. We will be working with people, and we need to understand and learn that we have to be people-centric, irrespective of whether we are in manufacturing, sales, back-end operations, leading large multinational or national organizations. We are in Whether we are in public life, whether we are in private life, it is all about working with human beings, and that is probably one of the largest areas of influence a professional can exert or can express, and that's where we need to focus on. These are probably the three learnings which I can work with, and do intend to work with my clients as well.
That's really great indeed. And I'm sure everyone watching this can also inculcate in them so that, it helps them grow in their businesses too. So I would like to ask, you've been honored with several awards. Which of them do you believe is the most difficult to achieve and why?
So I believe that every award is the manifestation of the process you have followed as a result of hard work, integrity, working with clients and with people. But if you ask me which are the two most accomplished, or in my own personal view, awards which I relish, is one. We were when I started Monk Consulting in 2010-11, we were getting into a space of extremely competitive, result oriented, relationship based industry. Very difficult to break into, very difficult to maintain large clients to come and transfer their ability to take advice from what they've been traditionally doing to somebody new. And over a period of 5 years, we started Monk Consulting from scratch, built a brand around it, and within 5 years, we were recognized among the top 25 new age consulting companies in the industry and in India. And that was very satisfying for us, because we believed in a brand. We believed in that we are there as a provider of unbiased consulting services and advisory to our clients, and we kind of felt that that was a testimonial of what we believed in, and that is one of the reasons why we thought that it was a great award to cherish, and something when you start, which is your baby or idea, and when industry accepts it, when when stalwarts in the industry come and talk about your brand, it's a great achievement for me personally, and also for the team which I was working for. So that was one major point of happiness for me in my journey of being an entrepreneur as well. The second came when I was recognized very recently as among the top 100 coaching leaders in India. To be honest, it came as a surprise to me because I do not come from HR background. Coaching is predominantly driven by a lot of HR and very, very talented HR professionals. And I somehow thought that, you know what, I am more about a consultant. I'm less about people and coaches and coaching. So when I started my journey in 2018 and I got my certification in 2021, which is a very prestigious certification in my personal opinion from International Coaching Federation, and in a very small span of 3 years, having reached so many people during pandemic, who were under distress, a lot of professionals who were undergoing transition of job, future uncertainty, looking at where their professional life is going to end up, where their personal life is going to end up, and all the distress around them. Some people losing a lot of loved ones in the pandemic, and how that impacted people, and how as a coach I could become a facilitator for a change. And that kind of brings in a lot of satisfaction, because end of the day, being a consultant coach, or my philosophy of driving Monk Consulting as an organization was to believe that we are there to help our clients not only for their professional challenges, but sometimes even helping them walk way through some of their personal challenges as well. And coaching and consulting integration helps us do that in a very, very powerful way. And that powerful message is what inspired me when I was recognized as a coaching leader. And I have only gratitude and thankful to all the organizations who believe that we are doing that kind of work.
That's really very nice and very interesting and wonderful to know indeed. So I would like to ask, when did you first develop an interest in ESG?
It's way back in 11, 12, where I was invited with a friend of mine to come and visit a rejuvenation of lake project, which was happening in Jaipur. So Jaipur has a very big lake on the outskirts near the, if you have ever visited Jaipur,
Yes.
Amer Fort. That entire lake was, it's an old lake, maybe 300, 400 years old lake, which actually was absolutely in shambles. And there was an organization, NGO, which was trying to rejuvenate that entire lake. And in that process, they were trying to, not just help build a sustainable lake environment or an ecosystem around lake, they could actually develop it very, very well. And my association with them helped me understand that, businesses, and as a result of once that lake was rejuvenated, and we could see a lot of birds, migratory birds coming back to that ecology. We could see that, people started coming to the shore. We could see that, it started becoming a interest of tourists. So ecology per se was not just helping itself and develop, it was helping the community as a whole. So when I saw that, there is a beautiful combination of having a sustainable framework marry with, profitable businesses, I thought it's a great, opportunity to kind of look and see and what kind of expertise we as professionals should develop. And that was probably one of my great learnings, to have been associated with that non-governmental organization for 2 to 3 years. And if you go back to the city today, you will find that the lake is still in a prime format. The area around the lake has been very beautifully done up. You can take a boat to the mid of the lake, and there is a small gallery where artisans actually present their work. So it was not just a business community which was developing; it was also a societal community which was developing.
Yes.
So it was helping all across, and it was a beautiful project to kind of bring learnings back to industry. And I think that is what the starting point was. And I thought, if this is the future for business is going to be, I as a professional should understand that. I as a professional should learn about it. I as a professional should be able to offer some of my thought process back to my industry and to my clients who are looking at this kind of an area. And that's a beautiful combination of how sustainable businesses can work in India.
Wonderful. So as an ESG and corporate governance expert, what values do you bring to the table?
Well, I bring all those values which I hold very dear to myself, even in my business while I'm operating a organization on my own. Um, I am in a business of advisory. I'm in a business of trust. I'm in a business of providing unbiased consulting and advisory to my clients. So one of the major uh, point forward is for me is to always have strong integrity. If I have integrity, I'll be able to uh, provide that kind of a value to my customers. They will be able to confide in me. They will be able to share things without fearing that, oh, you know what, it can have a wider ramification where people will know what we are lacking or what we don't lack or what we are not able to do as an organization. And that is one thing which I believe uh, i have uh, I have demonstrated, I want to demonstrate, continue to demonstrate, and I very very dearly hold on to as one of the major way of life for myself. And hence I bring that particular activity back to my clients of being extremely responsible about having those values which create a lot of integrity and trust in my clients. The second is what we discussed some time back is developing the strategic thinking as an individual. I think and as people who will help and guide board members in future, uh, thinking strategically, thinking way ahead, thinking about what are the possible outcomes for businesses can happen because of a particular action or not taking an action is very very important. And the thinking mindset has to be developed all through the organization, not just it's not just the responsibility of senior leadership in an organization. And that is one thing which I'm very very curious and very very excited about to how can I share my own learnings when it comes to organizations. The third thing is having a very clear stakeholder focus. If we are not focused on the stakeholders who have a big skin in the game, it kind of uh, backfires. And hence these are some of the things which I believe are very very important for senior leadership and thinkers to bring it to an organization's way of working.
That's great. So, as we were talking about technology earlier, so can you just tell me what are some of the most remarkable changes you have seen in the industry with changes in technology, and what changes do you expect to see with the advent of IoT, AI, ML, blockchain, big data, and Web 3.0?
Well, if I have to say, I'm a technology pro in terms of what technology can do for our life and businesses moving forward. I'm a big big fan of technology. So my experiment or my understanding of how technology changes very fast was when I joined my first job in 1998 with the first telecom provider called Hughes Telecom in the country.
Okay.
When I had joined them, there were two fields open to us. As freshly passed out, management graduates, we were thinking of looking at consumer industry very closely and what kind of opportunity it can bring in. The other was technology, obviously. Third was, which was coming up, was telecom, and telecom was absolutely a greenfield opportunity. So and there were two parts in telecom. One was the pager industry, which was booming like anything, and then came the new mobile phone and developments around mobile phone, which could bring to the industry. And within say 18 months of mobile phones getting launched in India at 32 rupees and 64 rupees per minute charges, we saw that pager industry was suddenly moving away to oblivion. And
Yes.
It actually was a hyped up industry to it actually lost its track and became extinct in a span of 18 months. And that opened my mind to the impact of technology it can have. A business area which is hot today can just vanish within a span of few months is a big eye opener. And hence I have always been a proponent, even in my days as analyst and consultant. I've always been somebody who said that please do not come back and say that this technology is useless, because we do not know how a technology will evolve and impact somebody's life. Like I remember, I used to work for Airtel, and there was a very old story which was in Airtel that there were few people who came in and told Mr. Sunil Bharti Mittal that uh, nobody uses mobile phone in India, so there is no per se uh, opportunity size, or a very limited opportunity size for mobile phones in India. Obviously, he didn't listen to that particular advice. Thank God for that. And you see now a behemoth, with more than 200, 300 million subscribers uh, in
Yes.
their fold, and growing. So I have seen that the technology impact has amazing time frame in terms of the moment it is launched and the moment it is adopted and the moment it actually starts to change lives. So that is the reason why I'm a uh, big fan of technology per se and the changes it brings. Well, there might be few technologies which might come and go. Yeah, that's part and
Yes.
parcel of life. There might be few technologies which might became which may become very big in a very short span of time. Yes, AI for that matter,
Mm.
or for that matter, cloud.
Yes.
Now cloud technology per se has been available for a very long time since
Yes.
virtualization. And now we are in that age group where we can talk about what happened in olden days compared to lot of
Right.
people who come who born after 1900s and so on. So I've seen virtualization being present in the industry for some time, and then it metamorphosized into a cloud technology, and we have all seen what cloud can do to our lives today. For that matter, look at media industry. How we moved from one channel country to today more than 1,000 plus channels available, and those 1,000 plus channels are facing a crisis with the advent of OTT. In just 2 years, we have seen how OTT has become the last IPL final on Reliance Jio had 2.5 crore people watching it live.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And did we imagine, say, in 1999, 2019, that so many people will stream on an OTT platform? Very difficult. And
Mm.
I
Yes.
think if somebody said, then it would have been a scenario where they would have projected a positive scenario about the industry, but they would have still not thought that, okay, 2.5 crore people will watch live
Right.
at one go. And that is where we are seeing how technology is moving away. We are seeing every day there is some development happening on AI. Now, half of the writers will lose their job is a very understatement. Half of the people who create business documents will probably have to reskill and upskill and to find another opportunity or activity which they can do. Excel expert will have to kind of get into the analytics and a higher
Right.
data scientist
Yes.
to become data scientist, and rather than just be Excel champion. So I'm saying that every now and then, you'll find technology which will come and change the way we are working. Just when we are very comfortable sitting in our jobs and saying, hey, you know what? Yeah, this job will last for 20 years, and 3 months and
Right.
6 months down the line, you see that that statement cannot be substantiated. And that's where I believe technology is moving away, and we are seeing so humongous developments, whether it's healthcare, whether it's agriculture, whether it's fintech. We are a great example as a country of success of fintech. I don't think in 2006, when 2007 and 8, I wrote a new industry paper along with Stanford Technology Ventures about mobile value added services market in India. And the mobile value added market has been kept aside, and we have moved into a very different directions of streams happening on devices. We're looking at social influencers. We are looking at how short video format has tremendous business
Yes.
opportunity and entertainment value over a period of time. So again, as I said, every industry which I look at has, whether it's robotics, AI into manufacturing, whether it's healthcare, and looking at what's happening with our body and our brain in that detail scenarios which was never possible. Developing vaccines within 18-month period was never heard of and thought about, right? And one of the reasons why we could sustain a pandemic worse than we thought we could was maybe the success of developing vaccines in such a limited period of time with the help of technology. So I see construction, your buildings, uh, our transportation. Look at the changes which we are. I think I by the time I touch 60, I will be very happy to not drive. I would be very happy to just sit into a pod and go anywhere where the pod takes me, or I
Right.
just program it so it's possibility. Flying cars are the possibility. We have already seen these things developing in Dubai, and prototypes being developed
Yes.
in China and some other parts of the
Yes.
world. Boring company, look at the way they are changing the way mass transportation is developing in the world, and probably will come to India very very soon. So we have already started seeing where cities are moving away from having flyovers to digging tunnels to ease out the CBD traffic problems. So every possible area which I see amazing amount of technology impact. I have a nephew who is just about a year and a half old. He was visiting us day before yesterday and yesterday, and I could see that my 60-year-old mother-in-law, or my mother, 70-year-old mother, who can't go through the mobile phones without creating a panic in their hearts, and I
Yeah.
I have a 1.5-year-old easily scrolling through devices,
Yes. 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 They
learning
do
through.
that.
So they are the digital native generation. They have not
Yes.
seen a non-digital environment.
Right.
Look at what a non-digital environment, or a mind coming from a only digital background can do to technology in time to come. So I'm very hopeful. I'm very positive um, about about technology, until unless we start using it for destructive purposes. That again is a negative to anything in life. Like there are 10 positives, there can be 10 or 5 negatives. But let's focus on, as I said, what we focus on expands. If we focus on the beautiful work technology can do to improve our life, is where the challenge and the opportunity is.
Definitely. So we are building a community of industry magnets. The move is meant for cross-pollination of knowledge and building a knowledge-sharing community of corporate giants and industry experts. What are your thoughts about this initiative taken by Mr. Zishan Pathan, Mr. Heval Mehta, and the whole World Development Corporation team?
I think it's a fantastic development. I'm a very small part of the piece, still not an expert. I'm a learn. I call myself a student of technology and the industry, and I'm so happy to be part of this particular development. I think we need more and more people. Um, we need more and more minds and their ability to contribute positively to industry and what is happening around. We cannot say that a person can retire at 40. No, we cannot. This is not the era for that. I think during wars it was fine that people used to die like young. We
Yes.
have long lives. We are improving our lifespans over a period of time, and these are fertile minds. These are fertile bodies, and they have so much ability to give back to the industry and to the society per se. And as we have more and more thinking minds coming to these kind of platforms, I think it adds tremendous value to how we can collectively find solutions to a big problems in industry and society.
That's really nice. Thank you so much for your wonderful words. It was fantastic conversing with you, and I'm confident that your insights will inspire future leaders. Thank you so much once again, Mr. Trivedi, for joining us today. We wish you the best for your future endeavors. And moreover, trust that this initiative by Directors Institute unquestionably expanded the participants' understanding and enriched their minds. Thank you once again for sharing all your wonderful learnings, and it was really very interesting. I'm sure everyone watching this, they will also definitely inculcate all these different values and principles and in their business, and I'm sure it will help them grow too. Thank you once
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Pleasure
Thank
is
you
all
so
mine. Thank you.